Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. My martial arts are so impressive that I can actually cultivate on my own. Lin Fei, with average martial arts qualifications, comes with his own martial arts system. He can cultivate his martial arts on his own. Your giant whale body refining skill was achieved by observing the bright moon and long whale diagram, comprehending the artistic conception of a giant whale, and breaking through to the fourth level. Your Yijin Forging Bone Technique, upon hearing the profound Buddhist scripture Diamond Sutra for the first time, fell into an epiphany state. Your Nine Shadow Sabre Technique is killing for the first time, and Nine Shadow Sabre Technique is uplifted and has understood the mystery of the fast sword. Your diamond is not bad for the iron cloth shirt. Due to not soaking in a medicinal bath, your mood is low and there is no progress in cultivation. Your dragon elephant diamond fist, after several days of hard work, has reached mastery. Lin Fei really didn't make any effort, but his martial arts skills are just too impressive. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. My martial arts can be cultivated on my own. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Your giant whale body refining skill has increased your cultivation speed by 50% by observing the bright moon and long whale diagram and comprehending the artistic conception of a giant whale. Your giant whale body refining skill, practiced hard for a day, achieved a progress of 100%, and automatically broke through to the fourth level of body refining. Lin Fei had just woken up when he heard a voice in his mind. As the words fell, Lin Fei's whole body burst with a crackling sound. He felt that his entire body's qi and blood had expanded a lot. The overall strength has also increased by several percent. This is clearly a sign of refining the four layers of the body. Lin Fei was overjoyed. 3 days ago, Lin Fei obtained this system. I didn't expect that this system could allow him to cultivate his martial arts on his own. This is simply unheard of. System panel. Lin Fei immediately called up the system panel to check. Host. Lin Fei giant whale body refining skill. Fourth level, progress 1%. The system panel is very rudimentary. Even the martial arts learned by Lin Fei. It's just this one door. This is the rule of the 9 mysteries. Lin Fei is a disciple of the 9 Xianmen Gate. According to the regulations of the 9 mysteries, those who enter the 9 mysteries must first refine their bodies before reaching the fourth level. Only one body refining martial art can be practiced. Previously, Lin Fei had only been refining 3 layers of body. So I cannot cultivate other martial arts. According to the regulations of the 9 mysteries, in the first 3 years, one must reach the fourth level of body cultivation. Otherwise, one will be expelled from the 9 profound gates. And Lin Fei is only 1 month away from the 3-year period. Fortunately, Lin Fei obtained the system. Otherwise, he will definitely not be able to reach the fourth level of body refining within a month. The ultimate result was being expelled from the 9 profound gates, causing shame to the family. Reached the fourth level of body refining. Lin Fei naturally wants to learn other martial arts. After all, the giant whale body refining technique can only refine its body. Enhance physical fitness. It is not combat martial arts. You still need to learn some combat skills to get close to yourself. Fortunately, there are regulations in the 9 profound gates. After refining for 4 levels, you can go to the martial arts pavilion to select 3 martial arts. So Lin Fei went straight out. He went to the Chuangong Hall first. He became the 4th layer of body refining. You must go to the Chuangong Hall for certification. Only those who have obtained certification from the Chuangong Hall. He can obtain the 3 martial arts of Wuxia for free. There are not many disciples coming to authenticate in the Chuangong Hall. At the 9 gates, Only those with 4 levels of body refining, 7 levels of body refining, and acquired strength will come for certification. Refining the body into 4 layers is the foundation for staying in the 9 profound gates all the time. Only disciples who have reached the 4th level of physical cultivation can stay at the 9 profound gates. And don't worry about being expelled from the sect. As for the 7 layers of body refining, it is also very important. Once reaching the 7th level of body refining before the age of 20, you can become a disciple of the 9 profound sect. Because before the age of 20, he became the 7th level of body refining. This means that there is hope of becoming a strong person in the future. If the disciples reach the postnatal realm, at the 9 profound gates, one's status will rise sharply. I can even participate in many major events of the 9 mysteries. In the realm of the 9 Xianmen, one can now be called a strong one. Elder Chuangong, external disciple Lin Fei, has reached the 4th level of body refining today and is here to certify. Lin Fei respectfully said to Elder Chuangong, "Extend your hand over." Lin Fei respectfully extended his hand over. Subsequently, Elder Chuangong's internal power was sent out. A warm current quickly entered Lin Fei's body and flowed throughout his entire body. This is internal power. The symbol of the strong after tomorrow. The strong one after tomorrow is called the one after tomorrow because they have cultivated their internal power. Lin Fei is very envious. My biggest dream before. To become a strong person in the future and honor one's ancestors. The elder Chuangong opened his eyes and nodded, saying, "Not bad." The giant whale body refining technique has reached the 4th level, which is rare. The foundation is very solid, and there is hope for the 7th level of body refining in the future. Elder Xie. Alright, take out the token and replace it with a new one for you. With this token, you can go to the martial arts pavilion to receive 3 free martial arts. I understand. Lin Fei received a new token and felt delighted in his heart. So, Lin Fei took the token and left the Chuangong Hall directly. The 9 profound gates are very large. The Wuga and Chuangong Hall are far apart. Lin Fei walked briskly for a long time before arriving at Wugu. Wugu will become much more lively. There are many disciples. After all, there are many martial arts treasures in the martial arts pavilion. Popularity is one of the most abundant places in the 9 profound gates. Lin Fei walked into the Wu pavilion. I showed the token to Elder Wugu. Elder Wugu is an old man with a wine gourd hanging around his waist and white beard and hair. It looks like a group of experts. Lin Fei tried to ask, "Elder, what kind of wine do you like to drink? I can find it for the elder." Elder Wugu didn't lift his eyes and said in a hoarse voice, "The 1st level of Wugu is body refining martial arts, the 2nd level is acquired martial arts, and the 3rd level is innate martial arts. You are only a disciple of the 4th level of physical cultivation, and can only choose martial arts from the 1st level. After selecting your martial arts, come to the old man's place and give you the content of your martial arts. You can only go to the corresponding training room to practice for a maximum of 1 hour. If it exceeds 1 hour, collect the money. There are 4 levels of physical cultivation, and you can choose 3 free martial arts. By the way, don't follow the old man's advice. The old man has 3 levels of potential and is not a hidden expert or a peerless martial arts secret book. You don't need to put in any effort to please him." Elder Xie. Lin Fei felt a bit awkward. According to rumors in the market, a person who guards places such as libraries. Either a sect elder or a master with hidden peerless martial arts secrets. It seems that this old man is not just an ordinary postnatal elder. Moreover, most of the other disciples are also like Lin Fei, attempting to please the elder of the martial pavilion. After Lin Fei saluted, he walked straight into the 1st floor of the Wu pavilion. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets, seeking rewards. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Selection of Martial Arts. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The first floor of the Martial Arts Pavilion has quite a few disciples. They are all body refining disciples. There are disciples who have just started learning and are proficient in martial arts. There are also disciples like Lin Fei who have broken through to the 4th level of body refining. There are disciples with 7 or more levels of physical cultivation who also choose martial arts in the Martial Arts Pavilion. After all, sometimes, as I practice martial arts, I feel that something is not right. Maybe it needs to be replaced. Refining physical and martial arts skills ultimately boils down to it. It's just for exercising the body. Therefore, it can be changed at any time. But once it reaches the level of postnatal cultivation, what one cultivates is postnatal martial arts. Can cultivate internal power. That's different. Perhaps martial arts cannot be changed arbitrarily. But during the body refining stage, there is no such worry, just change if you want. The only trouble may be changing the body refining martial arts skills. So all the previous efforts were in vain. Lin Fei has no intention of replacing the giant whale body refining technique. This body refining martial art also has a good body refining effect. Lin Fei is looking for martial arts skills in combat. During the refining stage, weapons can play a significant role. So, choosing a martial arts skill that uses weapons is the best. Lin Fei has a purpose. So he chose within the Wu Pavilion. According to Lin Fei's idea, he has a system. Martial arts can be practiced by oneself. So naturally, choose the most powerful martial arts. As for whether martial arts are difficult to practice, is this related to him? A mature martial arts skill should be able to cultivate on its own. Lin Fei is among a bunch of weapon techniques. Selected a knife technique. It's called the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. The reason for choosing specialized knife techniques. Because the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique is one of the many weapons and martial arts. The only and fastest weapon technique. Nine Shadow Sabre Technique, without any other fancy techniques. Only pursue speed. Extreme speed. In Lin Fei's memory, there is a memory of the world's martial arts, only fast and unbreakable. Therefore, seeing that the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique pursues the ultimate speed, I naturally chose it. Of course, Lin Fei only chose this knife technique. The specific content of the knife technique is still in the hands of Elder Wu Gu. Lin Fei is not in a hurry either. Since I can choose 3 martial arts, then he must make the most of everything. We cannot waste our quota in vain. The Nine Shadow Sabre Technique is already strong enough, and choosing other weapons martial arts skills is meaningless. You can wander the rivers and lakes, any situation can happen. If one day, weapons are not with us, then fists and feet are also quite important. So, it's still necessary to choose a martial arts skill. Lin Fei arrived at the bookshelf of martial arts again. The number of martial arts skills is really too much. It's really difficult to choose from a wide variety of options. Lin Fei saw the Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. This martial arts skill is also very powerful by its name. The reason why Lin Fei chose this martial arts. It is because the characteristics of this martial arts are very distinct. Moreover, it is a growing martial arts skill. The Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist requires a person with infinite strength to unleash it in order to have such great power. Moreover, the greater the strength, the greater the power of this boxing technique. If a person is born with divine power, they can even use it to kill the acquired strong. Of course, if the strength is not strong, this martial arts skill will be of no use. Lin Fei's body refining technique, giant whale technique. Cultivating Qi and Blood. He has a huge amount of Qi and blood, and his strength is naturally not small. Practicing Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist is just right. Wait, Giant Whale's body refining technique focuses on Qi and blood. But the body is not just about Qi and blood. It also includes the skin, membranes, muscles and bones. The martial arts I cultivate can all be practiced on my own. Why don't I also cultivate my skin, membranes, muscles and bones together? In that way, our strength can also be stronger. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. He thought of his strengths. That is not afraid of how difficult martial arts can be. I'm afraid my martial arts skills may not be comprehensive enough. Generally, there is a focus on cultivating physical and martial arts skills. For example, either focus on Qi and blood, skin and membrane, or muscles and bones. Actually, it's all the same. Emphasize one point in order to reach the 9th level of body refining faster. So as to break through to the day after tomorrow, and then transfer to practicing those acquired martial arts and cultivating internal power. Therefore, whether the refining stage is comprehensive or not. Actually, it's not very important. Of course, the main reason is that most people have limited energy. If we practice together, that slowed down the progress. Breaking through to the day after tomorrow has almost become a luxury. Lin Fei immediately chose another martial arts skill, which was to hone his skin and membrane, and another martial arts skill, which was to exercise his muscles and bones. They are the Diamond Unbreakable Iron Cloth Shirt and the Yijin Forging Bone Technique. The difference between a diamond-shaped iron cloth shirt and an ordinary iron cloth shirt is the ultimate. The ordinary iron cloth shirt is made by training, with a tough leather film that fits into cowhide, but with a hood. After training, the Diamond Unbreakable Iron Cloth Shirt did not cover the door. The only difference is that it's difficult to practice. Yijin Forging Bone skill is the strongest martial arts skill for exercising muscles and bones. There is no one. But it is said that this martial arts combines certain theories of Taoism and Buddhism. If it weren't for the essence of the channels and the two schools of Buddhism, even getting started would be difficult. Lin Fei chose these martial arts and came to the presence of Elder Wu Gu. Nine Shadow Sabre Technique, Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist, Diamond Unbreakable Iron Cloth Shirt, and Yijin Forging Bone Technique. There are 4 martial arts in total, and you can only choose 3 for free. You should leave behind a martial arts skill. Elder Wu Gu shook his head. Lin Fei couldn't help but ask, Elder, do I think there's a way to take all 4? Of course there is, just add the money. All martial arts can be exchanged for contribution points. These 4 martial arts are all worth 1,000 contribution points. But I don't have any contribution. Lin Fei was not even able to refine the 4th layer of his body before, so he couldn't go out. Where did he get his contribution points from? That's even simpler, just add money if you don't contribute. 1 or 2 silver coins can be exchanged for 1 contribution point, 1,000 contribution points, and 1,000 taels of silver. This price is a bit unscrupulous. But Lin Fei thought for a moment. He comes from a merchant family and earns a considerable monthly allowance. 1,000 taels, he can still take it out. Okay, then add the money. This is 1,000 taels of silver. Lin Fei gritted his teeth and chose to add money. New book opening, seeking flowers, rewards, evaluation tickets. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Martial Arts with Personality. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Not bad, a child can be taught. Elder Wu Gu received the silver ticket with a satisfied expression on his face. Lin Fei obtained a license plate for the practice room. He chose 4 martial arts. Then he can stay in the training room for up to 4 hours. Anyway, martial arts secrets cannot be taken away. The 4 martial arts secret scripts must be returned in their original form after a maximum of 4 hours. Moreover, our martial arts are not allowed to be disseminated without our consent. Otherwise, the 9 Mysteries Pursuit Order will not show mercy. Yes, Elder, I understand. Lin Fei holds the secrets of 4 martial arts. I directly entered the training room. In the practice room, Lin Fei arranged the secret script word for word. 4 hours of time is not actually used for practicing martial arts. After all, time is too short. Even if practicing, to what extent can one reach? These 4 hours are used for rote memorization. I memorized the martial arts secrets. But Lin Fei is different. He doesn't even need to memorize by rote. He just needs to get started with these martial arts skills. At that time, these martial arts will be practiced on their own. So Lin Fei first practiced Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. He followed the moves in the martial arts secret script and fought once. Your Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist is dissatisfied with the host's soft and gentle momentum. The cultivation effect has been reduced by 50%, and the progress has reached 1%. Lin Fei encountered this situation for the first time. Dare to say, does this Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist have some personality? System. Lin Fei checks the system panel. Host. Lin Fei Giant Whale Body Refining Skill. 4th level, progress 1%. Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. Beginner, progress 1%. Lin Fei saw the Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist, which had already appeared in the system panel. This means that Lin Fei doesn't have to worry about this martial arts anymore. Although, this martial arts skill seems quite unique. What will happen in the future, then Lin Fei will slowly explore. There are still 3 martial arts waiting for him to cultivate. So Lin Fei continued to cultivate the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. You replaced the sword with your palm, causing dissatisfaction with the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. The cultivation effect has been reduced by 80%, and the cultivation progress has reached 1%. Lin Fei could only smile bitterly. Okay, this Nine Shadow Sabre Technique is also similar to Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. He has a bad temper. Lin Fei continued to cultivate the Diamond Immortal Iron Cloth Shirt and the Yijin Forging Bone Technique. Your Diamond Immortal Iron Cloth Shirt is very satisfied with the host. The cultivation effect has been increased by 50%, and the cultivation progress has reached 3%. Your Yijin Forging Bone skill is very satisfactory to the host. The cultivation effect has been increased by 50%, and the cultivation progress has reached 5%. Lin Fei received consecutive prompts. His Yijin Forging Bone Technique and Diamond Immortal Iron Cloth Shirt seem to have a good cultivation effect. Lin Fei thought for a moment. It should also be related to his Giant Whale Body Refining Technique. His Giant Whale Body Refining Technique has reached the 4th level. Under the power of Qi and blood. Practice other body refining martial arts. There will be a slight gain effect to some extent. So, these 2 body refining martial arts can be practiced so smoothly. Lin Fei looked at the time. Just 2 hours have passed. So Lin Fei left the training room directly. Return all 4 martial arts secret scripts to Elder Wu Gu. Elder Wu Gu was a bit surprised and said, "You've only remembered these 2 hours. Remember it all, Elder Xie." "Hey, I didn't expect you to be a bit clever." "Alright, let's go quickly." After Lin Fei left Wu Gu directly. This night, Lin Fei was a bit excited. The 5 martial arts are close to you. I can still cultivate on my own. Perhaps it won't take too long for him to reach the 5th level of body refining. The next day, Lin Fei woke up early. No need to practice martial arts hard. He naturally feels refreshed. Just as Lin Fei woke up, a series of sounds came from his ear. After a day of hard work, your giant whale body refining technique has increased progress by 5%. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. My mood instantly improved. His giant whale body refining technique is now in its 4th level. Increase by 5% per day. So to reach 100% and advance to the 5th level, it only takes 20 days. This speed is simply amazing. Of course, Lin Fei is very clear. This is because his giant whale body refining technique is very impressive, and he has comprehended the artistic conception of a giant whale. Otherwise, it's impossible to cultivate so quickly. Your dragon elephant diamond fist was mentally stimulated last night. After a day of hard practice, the cultivation progress increased by 10%. This is good news again. The dragon elephant diamond fist is also quite impressive. Although it just started yesterday, the dragon elephant diamond fist performed a bit lackluster. But one night passed. The dragon elephant diamond fist proves that it is a mature martial arts skill. Being able to adjust one's own state. Not bad, keep going. Lin Fei's face showed a smile. Due to the lack of a sword, your Nine Shadow Sabre Technique has left you feeling down. You have decided to take a day off and there is no progress in your cultivation. Ah! The smile on Lin Fei's face froze. The Nine Shadow Sabre Technique is not up to par. Did you not practice last night? However, it's also Lin Fei's fault. The Nine Shadow Sabre Technique requires weapons. But he doesn't have any weapons. Therefore, the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique, which has not been practiced, seems to be passable. It seems that he needs to find a knife as soon as possible. However, it's not a problem for the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique to always be lazy and not cultivate. Your diamond is not bad for the iron cloth shirt. Due to not soaking in a medicinal bath, your mood is low and there is no progress in cultivation. Your bone forging skill in the Book of Changes, due to not listening to Buddhist scriptures and Taoist scriptures, has caused a low mood and no progress in cultivation. 2 consecutive bad news left Lin Fei stunned. The new book is open, please have flowers, tips, and feedback from everyone. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Blade Technique Enhancement. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. System. Lin Fei adjusted the system panel to check the progress of various martial arts. Host. Lin Fei Martial Arts Realm. Refining the 4 layers of Body Giant Whale Body Refining Skill. 4th layer, progress of 6%. Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. Beginner, progress 11%. Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. Beginner, progress 1%. Diamond Unbreakable Iron Cloth Shirt. 1st layer, progress 3%. Yijin Forging Bone Skill. 1st layer, progress of 5%. Lin Fei looked at the various martial arts on the system panel. He only has 4 levels of physical training now. But there are a full 5 levels of martial arts. 3 of them are body refining martial arts, and 2 are combat martial arts. Lin Fei discovered a problem. His martial arts can indeed be practiced on his own. But the key is that these martial arts skills also have personalities. Not meeting these martial arts requirements. These martial arts skills can also be abandoned. Laziness without cultivation. The giant whale body refining technique is currently the most obedient, practicing steadily almost every day. Just like the 3 good students, not arrogant or impatient, moving forward steadily. The dragon elephant diamond fist is currently performing well. But the specifics will need to be observed later. The 9 shadows knife technique, the diamond unbreakable iron cloth shirt, and the Yijin Forging Bone Technique all have the meaning of stabbing the head. The 9 shadow knife technique is quite easy to solve. Just by a knife, it should solve the problem. King Kong doesn't damage the iron cloth shirt, does he need a medicinal bath? After careful consideration, Lin Fei realized that he really needed a medicinal bath. After all, this iron cloth shirt belongs to the practice of horizontal hard work. If there is no medicinal bath to repair the body, that body will also collapse due to practicing martial arts. This is also easy to handle. If you have money, you have a medicinal bath. As for the Yijin Forging Bone Technique, this is very interesting. Need to listen to Buddhist scriptures and Taoist scriptures. It sounds strange. But in order to cultivate the Yijin Forging Bone Technique well, Lin Fei had to give it a try. Go buy a knife first. Lin Fei stood up and left the room. He had just arrived outside when he saw two familiar figures. Zhang Yuan, Lu Hu, you guys. In Lin Fei's memory, he knew these two people. They are all disciples of the Nine Xian Gate, just like Lin Fei. And the relationship is also quite good. Lin Fei. Zhang Yuan smiled bitterly and said, Lu Hu and I came today to bid you farewell. Farewell. Yes, we have been stuck in the third level of physical cultivation since entering the Nine Xian Men for 3 years. Now that the 3-year term has expired, we have also been expelled from our sect. Therefore, we are here to bid farewell. Lin Fei fell silent. He doesn't know what to say. Brother Lin, I heard yesterday that you have broken through to the 4th level of body cultivation. Congratulations to you for staying at the 9 dark gates. Lucky, it's just lucky. Zhang Yuan and Lu Hu, what are your plans after going down the mountain? Lin Fei asked. I'll go back and inherit my family's business. As for Lu Hu, he's going down the mountain to help me. Zhang Yuan's family does indeed do business. Lu Hu knows the root and the bottom. I'm also good with Zhang Yuan. The two of them went down the mountain with the help of Lu Hu, and Zhang Yuan could also have multiple helpers. Then I wish you a smooth journey. If you have anything to do in the future, you can write to me. After careful consideration, Lin Fei still made a promise. In memory. Zhang Yuan and Lu Hu have both helped him a lot. Can be considered as the best friend of the entire 9 profound gates. Now my friend is going down the mountain. Lin Fei doesn't mind helping out if he has the ability to do so in the future. Thank you, Brother Lin. Zhang Yuan was overjoyed. He came to bid farewell to Lu Hu. I just want to wait for Lin Fei's words. After all, Lin Fei is in the 9 profound gates. In the future, there may be 5 or 6 levels of body refining, or even 7 or more levels. At that time, it may be a strong support. They are also satisfied with this promise. Looking at Zhang Yuan and Lu Hu, their backs were quite desolate and desolate. Lin Fei also had some feelings in his heart. In this world, force is paramount. Whether it's doing business or anything else. Without military force, it would be difficult to move a single step. Zhang Yuan and Lu Hu went down the mountain. That means there won't be any achievements in martial arts. Don't mention breaking through the day after tomorrow. Even reaching the 7th level of body refining is almost impossible. Lin Fei's heart tightened. He is still quite lucky. At a critical moment, we broke through to the 4th level of body refining. You can stay at the 9 profound gates. But what's the point of refining 4 layers of body? He needs to continue to improve. Lin Fei directly entered the weapon hall. The weapons of the 9 mysteries can be purchased with contribution points. Lin Fei has no contribution points. Of course, the same goes for silver. However, that would obviously be much more expensive. But Lin Fei has no choice now. Among many weapons, Lin Fei chose a superior precision steel knife. Although it cannot be considered a precious sword. But it's also very good. This knife cost Lin Fei 20 taels of silver. Lin Fei also needs some Buddhist scriptures and Taoist scriptures. There is no other way. I can only go to the foot of the mountain to buy. There is also a medicinal bath. The medicinal bath required for a diamond-like iron cloth shirt is extremely expensive. Lin Fei used his limited silver to purchase 10 portions at once. Basically, all the silver has been spent. Go back. Lin Fei returned to his yard. Try the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. Lin Fei took a deep breath. Start using the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. Although Lin Fei's martial arts can be self-cultivated. But after practicing, Lin Fei could empathize with it. It's like the effect of Lin Fei's own diligent cultivation. Lin Fei's Nine Shadow Sabre Technique has been introduced. Therefore, it can also be reluctantly exerted. Shua. Lin Fei swung out with a single blow. Only a white light flashed by. This is the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. Pursuing ultimate speed. When two shadows appear with a single cut, it means that the sword technique has become proficient. If one can cut 3 shadows with one blow, it is mastery. If you can cut out 6 shadows, that is Deshang. Finally, it's perfect. You have to cut out 9 shadows with one strike. But now, Lin Fei can only cut out a shadow. Just getting started. Your Nine Shadow Sabre Technique has just won a precious sword, and your mood is excited. Your understanding has greatly improved, and in an instant, your soul is blessed. The progress of Nine Shadow Sabre Technique cultivation has increased by 100%, reaching a proficient level. A sudden sound came from Lin Fei's mind. Is that enough to become proficient? Lin Fei widened his eyes, as if he couldn't believe it. In the next moment, Lin Fei had various insights in his mind. It seems that his hands have a muscular memory of the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. Subsequently, he swung out with a single slash. Shoo! 2 white lights flashed by. 2 shadows. This is indeed a characteristic of proficiency in the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. General combat martial arts can be divided into beginners, proficient, accomplished, and accomplished. For ordinary martial artists, it would be great if they could cultivate and become proficient. Practicing to perfection is almost reaching its limit. As for perfection, basically, only special talents or those who create this martial arts can achieve perfection. And become extraordinary. That's another level. Martial arts such as the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique emphasize the importance of comprehension. It's already very good to achieve proficiency within a month. And what about Lin Fei? One day I didn't expect to meet these martial arts requirements. These martial arts are terrifying to cultivate on one's own. That's really impressive. By the way, there is also the diamond not damaging iron cloth shirt. Let's soak it in a medicinal bath first and try the effect. Seeing the rapid progress of the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique, Lin Fei naturally had great expectations for Kong Bu 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 Tai Bushan. The new book is opening, please ask for flowers, tips, and feedback. Author, thank you all. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Go home and get silver. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Fei has his own yard. There is only one reason why external disciples can have a courtyard. Rich. In Lin Fei's memory, his family should be considered a wealthy businessman. Indeed, there is money. Therefore, it is possible to buy a yard at the 9 gates. In the yard, Lin Fei cooked hot water himself. I also poured the purchased herbal formula into the wooden bucket. Lin Fei jumped directly into the barrel. Suddenly, Lin Fei felt as if his pores had opened up all over his body. A warm current flows throughout the body, very comfortable. Your Diamond Immortal Iron Cloth Shirt detects the great tonifying medicine bath and begins to cultivate. Lin Fei also felt that his skin membrane was itchy and painful, and sometimes red dots appeared. This is because the Diamond Immortal Iron Cloth Shirt is currently being cultivated. Your diamond is not bad, Iron Cloth Shirt is in a good mood, and your cultivation speed has doubled. Your Diamond Unbreakable Iron Cloth Shirt has reached the second level. Wow! Lin Fei stood up from the hot water bucket. He glanced at the skin on his arm. It feels rough to the touch. But it is very resilient. Iron Cloth Shirt, has it reached the second layer like this? Lin Fei couldn't help but smile on his face. He has practiced the giant whale body refining technique. It is very clear how difficult it is to cultivate physical and martial arts skills. It took him 2 years to step into the giant whale body refining technique. And now, in one day, his Iron Cloth Shirt reached the second layer. Of course, this is definitely related to the powerful chi and blood of the giant whale gong. But King Kong's Iron Cloth Shirt is also quite impressive. The more personality one possesses in martial arts. In fact, it is also more and more competitive. Let's see if Lin Fei can satisfy all these martial arts. In this way, these martial arts will be diligently cultivated. So, in the next few days, Lin Fei is working hard to find a way to satisfy his martial arts skills. Lin Fei discovered that the most stable ones were the giant whale technique and the dragon elephant diamond fist. Do nothing every day. They can all cultivate on their own. Although it cannot reach the sky in one step. But the progress of cultivation is steadily improving. The Nine Shadow Sabre Technique and Yijin Forging Bone Technique have the most peculiar personalities. Without Buddhist scriptures and Taoist scriptures, there is almost no improvement in the Yijin Forging Bone Technique. Since the introduction of the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique, I have become proficient in it. But then it stopped again. No further improvement. It seems that this Nine Shadow Sabre Technique emphasizes enlightenment. We need to make the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique more enlightened. There are some teachers in the 9 profound gates. Can impart some martial arts experience. But that requires some contribution. If the contribution points are sufficient, even a specific teacher can provide guidance. Lin Fei thinks. If he could hire a master of the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique to guide him. His Nine Shadow Sabre Technique is sure to make rapid progress. Unfortunately, he didn't make any contribution. As for using silver. Now Lin Fei's silver is not enough. Almost all of it is used to cultivate martial arts and purchase medicinal baths. A few days later, Lin Fei's medicinal bath was also depleted. System. Lin Fei called up the system panel. Host. Lin Fei Martial Arts Realm. Refining the 4 layers of Body Giant Whale Body Refining Skill. 4th layer, progress 31%. Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. Beginner, progress 61%. Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. Proficient, progress of 1%. Diamond Unbreakable Iron Cloth Shirt. 3rd layer, progress 16%. Yijin Forging Bone Skill. 1st layer, progress of 5%. Among all Lin Fei's martial arts, the most advanced one is the Diamond Immortal Iron Cloth Shirt. Every day, a large number of medicinal baths serve. It's very comfortable to keep the Iron Cloth Shirt from breaking. In a few days, we have already reached the 3rd level. However, after reaching the 3rd layer, the progress also slowed down. The most crucial thing is that Lin Fei no longer has a medicinal bath. No contribution, no silver, no medicinal bath. If you continue to stay on the mountain, the speed of your martial arts improvement will be very slow in the future. Lin Fei measured for a moment. He still decided to go down the mountain. Stay on the mountain and make limited progress every day. After going down the mountain, he can earn contribution points and even go home to get silver. With resources, he can soar to the sky. Is it going home to get the silver or going down the mountain to do tasks and earn contribution points? Lin Fei is more inclined to go down the mountain to get silver. Although purchasing items within a sect with silver can be very expensive. But doing tasks carries a certain level of danger. Lin Fei is still very weak now. There is no need to rush to do tasks and adventures. However, Lin Fei still went to the mission hall. He looked at the dazzling array of tasks, and his eyes also lit up slightly. Most of the tasks in this mission hall are to support a certain place. In fact, this is the power of the 9 mysteries. The 9 Xianmen is a martial arts sect. Not a philanthropist. The 9 Xianmen occupy a huge territory. On these sites, establish entrances and branches. Used for doing business and so on. Only in this way can we obtain numerous resources. But where there are people, there are disputes. If there is a dispute, then rely on fighting and killing. These support tasks can generate a significant amount of contribution points. It's too dangerous. Lin Fei feels that he is currently focused on stability. If there are no suitable tasks, go down the mountain to get the silver first. Exchange silver for contribution points, although it may be a loss, the victory lies in the absence of danger. However, disciples below the 7th level of physical cultivation are not allowed to descend the mountain easily. Unless there is a task to accompany them. Lin Fei has a headache. I still need to take on a task. Otherwise, even going down the mountain would be a luxury. Lu Shan, collect 10 black-backed centipedes. The deadline is 2 months. When Lin Fei saw a task, his eyes lit up. Isn't Lushan the same mountain range as Lushan County? My Lin family's hometown is in Lushan County. Although I moved to the capital city after getting rich, the capital city is not far from Lushan. And this task is only a collection task, not a support task, so there shouldn't be any danger. However, this is just a matter of contributing 100 points, it's really too little, it's better than nothing. Lin Fei thought for a moment and directly took on this task. To be more precise, he went home to get the silver. By the way, complete this task. Seeking flowers, rewards, and evaluation tickets. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6, Young Master 2 is back. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Finally descending the mountain. Lin Fei is dressed in the 9 profound sect disciple vigorous clothes. A fast horse under his crotch, carrying a thick back sword on his back. A standard Jianghu attire. Kuai Ma is rented from Jiushuan's sect, and upon returning to the sect, the horse needs to be returned. As for the attire of the 9 profound sect disciples, that's also very particular. Within a radius of several hundred miles nearby, the 9 Xianmen is undoubtedly a giant. Regardless of the underworld or the white world. I dare not easily provoke the 9 profound men. Therefore, put on this outfit. Lin Fei can also avoid many troubles. Follow the route in memory. Lin Fei has been walking on official roads all the way. Even if I would rather walk a bit longer, I still have to take the official road. The world is not peaceful now. If you take a shortcut and take a small path, I can't say I will encounter many strong people. Lin Fei descended the mountain for the first time. It's better to be careful. Lin Fei travels on official roads during the day. Rest at the inn in a large town at night. Therefore, Lin Feng has such a stable like an old dog demeanor. On this journey, surprisingly, nothing really happened. Lin Fei quickly returned to the city of Zhoushan. He remembers the Lin family, located in the city of Zhoushan. And it's also a wealthy businessman. Quickly, Lin Fei ran all the way and arrived directly at the Lin mansion. Finally back. Lin Fei looked at the Lin mansion in front of him. I finally breathed a sigh of relief in my heart. These days on the road, I have always been worried and anxious. Only when he returns home can he truly feel at ease. You. Are you the second young master? The servants of Lin mansion carefully scrutinized Lin Fei. Finally recognized it. Lin Shi, why don't you know me anymore? Lin Fei smiled and said. This servant is the son of the Lin family. Generations have been servants of the Lin family. Growing up with Lin Fei since childhood. Of course Lin Fei recognizes it. Ah. It's really the second young master. You. Have you really come back? Lin Shi was overjoyed. So, the servants of the Lin family immediately ran into the Lin mansion and shouted loudly, Master, Madam, young master, second young master has returned. What? The second one's back. Is it fair? For a moment, Lin's father and mother rushed over upon hearing the news. Lin Fei came to the living room and met his parents. Father Lin has gained some weight and looks a bit chubby. Lin's mother is dressed in the attire of a noble woman. Lin Fei knelt down in front of the two elders and respectfully bowed, My child is unfilial. I have seen my parents before. Lin's mother tearfully said, It's been 3 years, okay, just come back. However, when Lin's father was pleasantly surprised, there was a hint of sadness in his eyebrows. Second, you have finally come back. At this moment, a young man dressed elegantly walked in from outside. Beside the young man, there is also a young woman with a stunning appearance. Big brother. Lin Fei respectfully shouted. This elegant man is Lin Wan, the elder brother of Lin Fei's mother's siblings. He is several years older than him. In Lin's mansion, help Lin's father manage his business. This is. Lin Fei couldn't help but ask the young woman beside his brother. Second, this is your sister. Law. I have seen my sister. Law. Lin Fei's mind was clear. This is Big Brother's wife. Big Brother, when did you get married? Why didn't you write a letter to let me know? Lin Fei was somewhat surprised. Big Brother is not much older than him either. Surprisingly, they all got married. Father Lin coughed lightly and said, Fei, you are practicing hard at the Nine Xianmen sect. We don't want to disturb you, so we didn't tell you about your elder brother's marriage. Your older brother just got married 6 months ago. Your sister. Law is the legitimate daughter of Lu, the official of Zhoushan Prefecture. Lin Fei nodded. Mr. Lu is a scholar. After failing the imperial examination, he went into business. In Zhoushan Prefecture, it can also be considered quite wealthy. Fei, I have something for my father to ask you. According to the rules of the 9 profound gates, if the requirements of the 9 profound gates are not met within 3 years, one will be expelled from the mountain. But now, you have come down the mountain, haven't you? As Lin's words fell. The atmosphere in the entire hall is tense. This is a big deal. The 9 Xianmen is undoubtedly a giant. Especially in this world. Martial arts are revered. Even if it's the Lord of the 9 profound gates, he has to give in 3 points of courtesy. Even many matters in Zhoushan Prefecture require the help of the 9 Xianmen. Being able to stay at the 9 gates. For wealthy families like the Lin family. That's the biggest thing. They sent Lin Fei into the 9 gates. Naturally, high expectations were placed on it. If we don't expel the 9 profound gates. For the Lin family, it's not a good thing. Even the smile on Big Brother's face was somewhat forced. Lin Fei just realized. This is just 3 years. Big Brother, why does he look much older? In his eyes, there was a hint of fatigue. Dad, Big Brother, is there something wrong with our family? Lin Fei didn't answer immediately, but asked in reverse. It's not a big deal. Big brother smiled and said. However, Father Lin waved his hand and sat down on the chair dejectedly. Slowly speaking, Wenner, Fei is your younger brother. It's good if he goes down the mountain this time and can also help you with your business. Fei, in the past 3 years, my body and energy have not been as good as before. So, I gradually handed over all the business to your big brother for management. Lin Fei remained noncommittal. He understands what dad means. This clarifies the position of big brother Lin Wen. He is the heir of the Lin family. New book opening, asking for flowers, asking for tips, asking for review tickets. Author, thank you. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. The Lin family's life is not easy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Initially, Lin Fei was sent to the 9 profound gates. Actually, such an arrangement has already been made. Lin Fei learned martial arts, Lin Wen inherited his family business, managed his business, and provided resources for Lin Fei to practice martial arts. However, in the past year or two, the world has become increasingly chaotic, with bandits and thieves appearing everywhere. Our Lin family has our own escort agency, but last year, Mr. Bai's health deteriorated and he was no longer able to escort. Our Lin family caravan is in trouble. Almost every time we go out, the caravan suffers losses, and sometimes the losses can be very severe. Mr. Bai is a master of the 5 levels of body refining. He once made a name for himself in the black and white realms. So, with Mr. Bai escorting the goods, our Lin family caravan often has nothing to do. But now, there is not a single person carrying a heavy burden in the escort agency. As for finding other martial artists with 4 or more levels of body refining skills. Firstly, we are not at ease as we are afraid of being swallowed by such a strong person. Secondly, those unfamiliar 4th level cultivators may not be able to suppress the bandits along the way. Over time, our Lin family's business has been struggling. Fortunately, Lu Yuanwei has married our Lin family, and thanks to your sister.in.law's plea to Lu Yuanwei, it has allowed Lu Yuanwei to have some cooperation with our Lin family's business, so the Lin family can barely survive now. But if this problem is not solved, our Lin family will face even more difficulties in the future. Lin Fei saw his elder brother and unconsciously clenched his sister.in.law's hand. It can be seen that although the two have just gotten married, their relationship is quite deep. Turns out, my sister.in.law helped the Lin family so much. Big brother, our family is so difficult now, why is my monthly allowance not lacking at all? Lin Fei is at the 9 gates, with a monthly allowance of 1,000 taels. This is definitely not a small amount. Over the course of 3 years. Almost 40,000 taels of silver. According to the current situation of the Lin family. This 40,000 taels of silver can solve urgent problems. The elder brother smiled slightly and said, "Second, you are practicing martial arts at the 9 profound gates. This is the hope that our whole family has placed on you. Even if our family is difficult, your daily expenses will not be less." Lin Fei was somewhat moved in his heart. "Dad, I understand what you mean. At present, the world is chaotic, and our Lin family caravan dare not easily leave Zhoushan Prefecture. There used to be an escort agency where the merchant caravan was in better condition. Perhaps it wasn't because of Mr. Bai's strength, but because he had been practicing black and white for decades and had a wide face. Therefore, some thieves would sell Mr. Bai's face. But Mr. Bai's health is not good, so he can't personally escort the goods. Those thieves wouldn't just look at the flag of Mr. Bai's escort agency and deceive our caravan." Lin's father nodded and said, "Yes, that's it. Just a strong person with 4 or 5 levels of body refining cannot achieve the level of Mr. Bai, making the Green Forest bandits give face. Dad, let's put this matter aside for now and I'll come up with a solution. Can you come up with a solution? Feier, you. Lin Fei no longer concealed it and said straightforwardly, Dad, who said I was expelled from the mountain? I went down the mountain to do tasks myself. Just a few days ago, I had officially reached the 4th level of the connected body and could stay at the 9 dark gates for a long time. Ah. Is this true? Father Lin, Mother Lin, and Big Brother Lin 1. A hint of surprise appeared on his face. Of course it's true, this is my nameplate. Lin Fei took out the nameplate of the 9 gates. There is certification for the 4 layers of Lin Fei's refined body on it. Ha ha ha, buddy, I knew you could do it. Big Brother couldn't help but burst out laughing. During this period, he has been under too much pressure. The entire burden of the Lin family lies on his shoulders. Now Lin Fei has become a master of the 4th level of body refining, and he is also a disciple of the 9 Xianmen gate. At least, Lin Wen also has confidence. No longer as before, everything is done with trepidation, like walking on thin ice. That feeling is really uncomfortable. Father Lin was overjoyed and had people prepare good wine and dishes. It was very late that Lin Fei returned to his room. Ha! Lin Feichang breathed a sigh of relief. I understand that the Lin family is in such a difficult situation. It made Lin Fei a bit embarrassed. He came back this time and did the task by the way. The real purpose is to come back and get the money. But the Lin family has become like this. How could he still take money? Dong dong dong. Before Lin Fei could fall asleep, a knock came from outside the door. Lin Fei opened the door to the room. Big Brother. It's so late, you. Lin Fei was somewhat surprised. Outside the door is Big Brother Lin Wen. Lin Wen patted Lin Fei's shoulder and handed him a stack of silver bills, saying, Second, this is 30,000 taels of silver bills. You can save some money. Just now, your parents and sister Law were there, so it's not convenient to talk about some things. I know you martial arts practitioners consume a lot of resources. These over 10,000 taels of silver may not be too much, but this is also all the resources that the Lin family can gather so far. Big Brother, 30,000 taels of silver bills. The Lin family is not doing business anymore. Lin Fei was greatly surprised. Don't make such a fuss. I definitely can't move the money that the Lin family does business with. However, our father has been brilliant for so many years, and now he has handed over all his wealth to me. These silver notes are some of my father's favorite treasures when he was young, and I have sold them all. Don't worry, they won't affect the Lin family's business. Big Brother, this. Lin Fei was deeply moved in his heart. This Big Brother, has been taking care of him since childhood. Even though both of them have grown up now, their relationship has not changed. Alright, don't be so motherly. Hurry up and take a break. If you're really touched, then strive to become a strong person with 7 or more levels of physical cultivation, or even a strong person the day after tomorrow. When the time comes, just showing off your name, who dares to make things difficult for our Lin family. Your brother and I can also have confidence in doing business. After speaking, Big Brother Lin Wen left. New book opening, seeking flowers, subscriptions, and review tickets. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Upon first hearing the Buddhist scriptures, I suddenly realized the skill of changing tendons and forging bones. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Go back to the room. Lin Fei carried 30,000 taels of silver notes into his arms. He is not affected either. He really needs these 30,000 taels of silver now. Poor literature and rich martial arts. If you are poor, practicing martial arts is impossible. There is no such silver. Lin Fei can only go and claim some sect tasks to earn contribution points. But those tasks are quite dangerous. One mistake can lead to death. He is still very weak and doesn't want to take such a risk. However, Lin Fei understands. The top priority is to solve the problem of the Lin family. Otherwise, the Lin family has collapsed. He is at the 9 profound gates and doesn't even have a monthly allowance. It will be even more difficult. He and the Lin family have a mutually beneficial relationship. Mr. Bai, he can make the Green Forest bandits sell face. Of course, it relies on decades of reputation. But how did those reputations come about? They were also punched, kicked, stabbed, and shot. I am a disciple of the 9 Xianmen Gate, and I can also pull the skin of a tiger. But if I want those Green Forest bandits to sell me face, I still need to have a real fight. However, currently my strength is still slightly inferior. Lin Fei called up the system panel. Host. Lin Fei Martial Arts Realm. Refining the 4 layers of Body Giant Whale Body Refining Skill. 4th layer, progress 51%. Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. Proficient, progress 1%. Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. Proficient, progress of 1%. Diamond Unbreakable Iron Cloth Shirt. 3rd layer, progress 16%. Yijin Forging Bone Skill. 1st layer, progress of 5%. Lin Fei spent 4 days returning to the Lin family from the 9 gates. Only the Giant Whale Body Refining Technique and Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist have made some progress. Among them, the Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist has reached proficiency. Finally, the progress of Giant Whale Body Refining has exceeded 50%. According to a daily progress of 5%. Lin Fei's Giant Whale skill requires at least 10 more days to reach the 5th level. 10 days later, under normal circumstances, Lin Fei can now step into the 5th level of body refining. If we want the Lin family caravan to have peace of mind in the future, the strength of refining 5 layers alone may not be enough to fully cope. The stronger the strength, the better. Lin Fei is limited to 10 days. First, resolve the Lin family's matter. Go to Lushan County again to collect black-backed centipedes. He can go down the mountain for 2 months. It should be enough. So the next morning, Lin Fei instructed the Lin family early in the morning. Go to major pharmacies in the city and purchase medicinal herbs for the Diamond Immortal Iron Cloth Shirt. Scatter 30,000 taels of silver. Enough to purchase many precious medicinal herbs. Another thing is the Yijin Forging Bone Technique. During this period, there hasn't been much improvement in Yijin Forging Bone skill. Need to listen to Buddhist scriptures and Taoist scriptures. Lin Fei asked Lin Shi to take him to visit a famous nearby temple. Lin Fei went to Sanyuan Temple outside the city. Sanyuan Temple is famous far and wide. The temple is very large, with many golden statues of Buddha sculpted. Lin Fei went very early. Therefore, the monks who were rushing to the temple were doing morning classes. The sound of wooden fish tapping in waves, accompanied by the voice of high monks explaining scriptures. As I have heard, for a while, the Buddha gave the lonely garden to the tree of the state of Shiwei, along with the 250 people of the great Bhikkhu. Lin Fei heard the scriptures spreading from the Sanyuan temple. Your Yijin Forging Bone skill, upon hearing the profound Buddhist scripture, Diamond Sutra, for the first time, fell into an enlightenment state, lasting for a stick of incense. Lin Fei stiffened all over. Immediately afterwards, his body was uncontrollable. A crackling sound came out. The bones all over the body seemed to tremble violently. And in the midst of tremors, Lin Fei could clearly feel that his bones were rising at a terrifying speed. An epiphany. Can one still have an epiphany in martial arts? Lin Fei's heart was shaken. Good guy. This Yijin Forging Bone Technique is simply amazing if it doesn't make a name for itself. There has been no movement. Now when I hear the Buddhist scriptures. Surprisingly, I fell into an epiphany all at once. The time for a stick of incense quickly passed. The sound of the system came back to Lin Fei's mind. Your sudden realization of Yijin Forging Bone skill has ended. You have learned from the Buddhist scriptures, and all your bones resonate. The cultivation effect has been doubled, and the cultivation speed has been increased tenfold. Your Yijin Forging Bone skill has broken through to the third level. Lin Fei widened his eyes. It seems unbelievable. He immediately called up the system panel. My gaze only turned to Yijin Forging Bone Technique. Yijin Forging Bone skill. Third layer, progress of 1%. Lin Fei saw on the system panel that the bone forging skill of the Book of Changes had really been elevated to the third level. Heart and mind tremble. Good guy, a sudden realization of the Yijin Forging Bone Technique is worth years of hard work for an ordinary person. Even if the diamond unbreakable iron cloth shirt reaches the third level. That also cost several thousand taels of silver. After soaking in a medicinal bath for many days, it finally reached the third layer. And what about the Yijin Forging Bone Technique? Almost a step to the sky. If from time to time, there is a sudden realization of the Yijin Forging Bone Technique. Isn't that true? It will soon surpass the giant whale's body refining technique. So Lin Fei continued to stay at Sanyuan Temple. But I stayed until the afternoon. Even Lin Fei found an excuse. Visited a senior monk in the temple. I consulted some Buddhist teachings. What is the result? In a few hours, there has indeed been progress in the Yijin Forging Bone Technique. However, it only increased the progress by 5%. It seems that enlightenment is not something that can be easily encountered. However, in order to improve the Yijin Forging Bone skill every day, we still need to rely on Buddhist scriptures. Lin Fei simply packed and bought a copy of many Buddhist scriptures, and brought them back to the Lin mansion. New book opening, asking for flowers, tips, and evaluation tickets. Author, thank you. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Refining body with 5 layers, greatly advancing strength. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Time passes day by day. Lin Fei spends money like flowing water soaking in medicinal baths every day. In the blink of an eye, 30,000 taels of silver were spent in all sorts of ways. However, the effect is also very obvious. Lin Fei's various martial arts have almost made significant progress. However, the giant whale's body refining technique is still a little short of the 5th level. I waited until the 10th day. After a day of hard work yesterday, your giant whale body refining technique has increased its progress by 5%. After many days of hard work, your giant whale body refining skill has finally broken through to the 5th level. Your dragon elephant diamond fist, after several days of hard work, has reached mastery. There are still many tips. Lin Fei has checked them one by one. System. Lin Fei directly called up the system panel. View through the system panel for a more intuitive experience. Host. Lin Fei Martial Arts Realm. Refining the 5 layers of body giant whale body refining skill. Level 5, progress 1%. Dragon elephant diamond fist. Mastery, progress 1%. Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. Proficient, progress 31%. Diamond unbreakable iron cloth shirt. 4th layer, progress 45%. Yijin Forging Bone Skill. Third layer, progress 56%. Finally reached the 5th level of body refining. Lin Fei felt delighted in his heart. His giant whale body refining technique was indeed as he had predicted. 10 days later, we reached the 5th floor. Moreover, it's not just about whale body training. There is also the diamond unbreakable iron cloth shirt, which has reached the 4th level. Even the Yijin Forging Bone Technique is not far from the 4th layer. What is even more precious is the Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. Surprisingly, it has advanced from proficient to proficient. Now Lin Fei's strongest combat martial arts. It has become Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. Master the Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. With every punch and kick, one possesses immense power. Combined with the 5th layer of giant whale body refining technique, it is full of power. The only thing that hasn't moved is the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. This knife technique really has a personality. There is no progress at all on a regular basis. I don't know how to improve the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. However, the proficient Nine Shadow Sabre Technique is barely enough for Lin Fei now. Almost, it's time to solve the Lin family's problem. Lin Fei has been staying at the Lin family for 10 days. According to his plan, he needs to solve the Lin family's problem. So, Lin Fei went to the living room and found his parents and big brother Lin Wen. Big brother, Dad, I have now broken through to the 5th level of body refining. So, you can try taking a trip with a dart to open up our Lin family's business route. Lin Fei said straightforwardly. Fei, have you reached the 5th level of body refining? Father Lin and big brother exchanged a glance. There was a hint of joy in his eyes. Refining with 5 layers, even in Zhoushan Mansion, it is still a skilled player. Even the white old man from the escort agency under the Lin family. It's just 5 layers of body refining. Fei, if you want to go bodyguard, it will ultimately be an adventure. But now the Lin family really has no way out. However, if you want to be a bodyguard, you should still go to the escort agency and ask Mr. Bai for advice. After all, Mr. Bai has been a darter for decades and has extensive experience. Lin Fei nodded and said, Dad, big brother, I'm going to visit Mr. Bai. Okay, buddy, I'll go with you. Big brother Lin Wen nodded and left the Lin mansion with Lin Fei. The escort agency of the Bai family is not far from the Lin mansion. The Bai family's escort agency was originally just a small one. Father Lin initially collaborated with Mr. Bai for business convenience. Acquired the escort agency of the Bai family. With the support of the Lin family, the Bai family's escort agency has developed rapidly. Quickly became one of the top escort agencies in Zhoushan Prefecture. Quickly, the two arrived at the Bai family escort agency. Lin Wen is the owner of the Bai family escort agency. Therefore, it is natural to enter the escort agency directly. Master Lin. A handsome young woman walked out of the escort agency. Wearing a slimming and powerful outfit. Outline your figure. Except for slightly darker skin tone. There are no other drawbacks. Miss Bai Ying, let's come and see the old man. Master Lin, please come in. Bai Ying's gaze swept slightly over Lin Fei. She seems to feel somewhat familiar. Miss Bai Ying, he is my second brother Lin Fei, who has just come down from the 9 profound gates. 9 Xianmen disciples. Bai Ying raised her eyebrows and became curious. A disciple of a major sect. It's actually not commonly seen in Zhoushan Prefecture. A few people entered Mr. Bai's room. The old man's beard and hair are all white. His face turned wax yellow. It does seem that he has fallen seriously ill and is becoming increasingly haggard. Upon seeing Lin Wen enter, Mr. Bai struggled and said in a hoarse voice, Young master, it's all me who's useless. During this time, the Lin family caravan hasn't had any bodyguards, and the trade routes are blocked. If this continues, I'm afraid. Mr. Bai is very self-blaming. He initially inherited a great favor from the Lin family. Nowadays, it is also a win-win situation with the Lin family. I am naturally worried about the situation of the Lin family. Lin Wen smiled and said, "Don't worry, old man. We have decided to take another escort trip and completely open up the business route." Oh. Which expert did the young master find? The old man Bai was invigorated. My second brother Lin Fei has just come down the mountain from the 9 profound gates. How does Mr. Bai feel about him leading the escort team? As Lin Wen's words fell. For a moment, everyone's gaze in the room focused on Lin Fei. New book opening, asking for flowers, asking for tips, asking for review tickets. Author, thank you. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Duel, martial arts improved again. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Lin Fei has seen the old man. Lin Fei clasped his fists and saluted the old man Bai. Is this the second young master? Mr. Bai has also come to his senses. He certainly knows Lin Fei. I have been practicing martial arts in the 9 mysteries all along. Second young master is a disciple of a major sect, so his martial arts skills are naturally not bad, and he can be a bodyguard. However, this time is different from the past. The flag of our Bai family's escort agency may not be recognized by the Green Forest bandits. If there is any danger. The meaning of Mr. Bai is very clear. Once escorted, there is a danger to one's life. Old man, why don't you find someone to spar with second brother? With your keen eyes, you can naturally see if second brother can lead a team of bodyguards. Lin Wen suddenly spoke up and gave a suggestion. Okay, Iron Mountain, you can go and fight against second young master. The old man Bai also had a flash of brilliance. Immediately, a burly man, like an iron tower, was called to his side. Second, are you okay? Lin Wen asked. No problem, go outside and try it out. Lin Fei nodded. Even he was a bit eager to try. After all, they have already refined their bodies into 5 layers. But I don't have much hands-on experience. Now is also an opportunity. So the group left the room and arrived at the martial arts arena outside. Many people gathered around. I know that Lin Fei is a disciple of the 9 Xianmen sect. And Tai's Han is the legitimate disciple of Mr. Bai, who will inherit the escort agency in the future. Lin Wen stood beside the old man Bai. In fact, Lin Wen also wants to see the true strength of Lin Fei. After all, seeing is believing, hearing is believing. He doesn't understand martial arts. Mr. Ko Bai understands. The strength of Lin Fei can naturally be seen by Mr. Bai. Moreover, Lin Wen also knows about Iron Mountain. Refining 4 layers. This is definitely the proud disciple of Mr. Bai. Swords and swords have no eyes. Since it's a competition, it's not like comparing weapons. How about comparing fists and feet? Lin Fei looked at the burly Iron Mountain and said. Then please ask the second young master to teach. After speaking, Tai Shan crossed his thigh directly. As soon as I stepped down, I crossed a distance of more than 10 feet. In an instant, he bullied Lin Fei in front of him. Iron Mountain has a burly figure and infinite strength. Therefore, this punch is also very powerful. And very suddenly. According to normal circumstances, Lin Fei needs to dodge first. However, Lin Fei had no intention of avoiding at all. Seeing Iron Mountain's powerful and heavy punch, Lin Fei didn't hesitate. Raising your hand is like punching. Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist. Lin Fei let out a low shout. Bang! Suddenly, he mastered the martial arts of the realm, and once he hit it, automatically mobilized all body strength. Qi, blood, muscles and bones all burst out. The power of the giant whale technique with 5 layers of body refining is remarkable. This punch is delivered. The air was blown out with explosive sounds. Bang! Finally, the two of them punched hard. At the moment when the two of them clashed, Tishan's face changed drastically. A tremendous force came directly from Lin Fei's fist. Moreover, it still has the momentum of overwhelming mountains, directly crushing it with a mighty force. Click! Iron Mountain retreated a few steps in a row. Under his feet, he stepped on the hard bluestone bricks on the ground, leaving cracks one after another. It looks like a spider web. It shows how terrifying Lin Feigong's punch was. Iron Mountain's whole body was shaken with qi and blood, feeling uncomfortable and wanting to vomit blood. However, he didn't take any more action. Under one blow, make a high and low judgment. And he also saw it. Lin Fei just saved his hand. Otherwise, just this punch, his arm will be useless. Thank you very much, second young master, for your mercy. Taizhan is a sincere man. Lin Fei's strength is stronger than him, and he showed mercy and did not make a fool of himself. He is naturally grateful. Ha ha ha, Iron Mountain should have 4 levels of body refining, it's really powerful. Lin Fei also arched his hand and said with a smile. Actually, Lin Fei was really happy in his heart. He didn't really use much strength just now. It seems to have easily defeated Iron Mountain. But Iron Mountain is definitely not weak. This can only indicate that Lin Fei's current strength is indeed very strong. Moreover, the power of Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist combined with Giant Whale Body Refining Technique is truly terrifying. Your Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist has just dueled with others. During the battle, you have comprehended the essence of the fist technique and your progress has increased by 60%. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. Unexpectedly, there is such a good thing about sparring. The Dragon Elephant Diamond Fist has undergone a significant improvement. It seems that upgrading from mastery to great success is not far away. How about trying the knife technique again? Lin Fei's heart is itchy and unbearable. I want to compete with Iron Mountain in swordsmanship. He wants to improve the Nine Shadow Sabre Technique. I haven't practiced swordsmanship much, but it's Baiying who is proficient in swordsmanship. Iron Mountain said foolishly. Alright, second one, just click and stop. Lin Wen turned his head and asked Bai Laozi, Laozi, what do you think of Lin Fei? You can be a bodyguard. If I'm mistaken, second young master should have refined his body to the 5th level, right? He is truly a disciple of the Great Gate sect and truly extraordinary. However, even with 5 levels of physical cultivation, it is not easy to deter the Green Forest bandits along the way. Iron Mountain and Baiying, lead the team this time and escort with second young master. Make sure to help second young master succeed in this escort. The old man Bai made a decision immediately. New book opening, asking for flowers, rewards, and feedback. Author, thank you all. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.